Hello everyone, our civil aviation presentation is about a pre-flight check, and we will go through it to introduce some professional aviation English. I apologize as there was some issue with the audio recording on data. I'm now presenting use post-production methods. First of all, what we definitely need to check is the document, and the document you need must check are the aircraft logbook or the engine's logbook. Then we will go to the cockpit and turn on power for the landing light and the taxi light or more. First, we need to check the Cessna light. The first one we check is the landing light and taxi light. Then confirm if the lights are on. Next to check is the navigation light. Then confirm if the navigation lights are on. Then we need to check the strobe light. And the strobe light is the flashing light, which means when the aircraft is about to enter the runway, the strobe light must be turned on. Next, I would like to introduce the light on the vertical slider. This red light, called beacon light, needs to be turned on when the aircraft is about to start. Only after the aircraft engine is shut down can the beacon light be turned off. Next, we need to check the rear navigation light, which is red on the left and green on the right, and followed by the navigation light on our right wing. We also check the strobe light to confirm whether the navigation light is on and if the strobe light is flashing. Once that's complete, we have finished checking the light. Normally, at the flight school, after we finish check, we will quickly turn off the light because the engine isn't started and there's no power generation, so we are afraid the battery will run out of power. Next, we'll perform the pre-flight walk-around. First, to check our fuel levels. I'll use the fuel quantity display. I open the fuel caps, insert the stick into each tank, and check the fuel height to ensure we have the required amount of fuel of our flight. Next, we'll check the fuel quality using the fuel tester. I'll run the sample for each of the fuel sumps to ensure the fuel is clean, free of water, and has the correct bluish tint. Confirm it's 100 only. Normally, new Cessna have 5 drain valves under each wing. Moving on, I verify the stall warning horn is clean and not obstructed. Then I'll check the pitot tube to ensure it's clear of any insects or debris. I'll also inspect the static port and the venturi tube. And venturi tube to make sure they are completely obstructed. Now for the flight control. I'll check the aileron to verify they move freely and ensure all hoists and bolts are secure. Next, I'll lower the flaps. I lower the flaps to inspect the hinges and ensure there's no play or loose hardware. After that, I'll inspect the VFR communication antennas. and check the ELT antennas to make sure they aren't damaged. And an ELT is called Emergency Locator Transmitter. I'll perform a visual inspection of the airframe looking for any sign of structural damage or major dents. Move to the tail. I'll check the elevator for smooth movement and secure hardware. I'll inspect the rudder. Check the control table for any sign of corrosion. And ensure the right elevator moves correctly with the left. I also check the train tab for any loose screw. Then I'll inspect the VOR and LOC antenna on the vertical stabilizer for any external damage. I perform a final visual check on the right side of the fuselage for any damage. I check the right flap hinges and ensure the right aileron moves freely without any binding. For the tire, since we don't carry a pressure gauge, I perform the kit test to ensure they are properly inflated. And I'll check the brake system. And check the right venturi tube to make sure they are completely obstructed. Well, I'm here. Check the left main gear. Finally, moving to the engine area. I'll check the engine exhaust system for security. Ensure the engine air intake is free of obstruction. And check the propeller for any leaks or damage. I'll make ensure all the cooling screws are tight and check the. Lastly, I'll check the engine oil level. The dipstick currently reads 6 quarts. The normal operating range is 4 to 6 quarts, so well within limits. If we are planning an IFR flight, we would ideally aim for 6 to 8. That's completed our pre-flight check. Thank you for your attention.